Welcome to the podcast, everyone. I am your host, Mayra, and I'm very, very excited to have a special guest here today. My guest is Hope Lux with the Angel Writer. Hope has been communicating with angels her whole life as an angelic channel, psychic medium, and angel attunement coach. She helps others deepen their connection with the divine. Through the Angel Writer, she shares channeled angel messages and guides thousands of kindred souls in learning to recognize, trust, and communicate with their angels. Welcome, Hope.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm excited to be here to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's angel numbers.
I love that. And I want to say I found you on on Instagram. And I even loved the name, the Angel Writer. So I follow you on Instagram and I love your posts, and I've seen how your posts have changed over the years. I think it's beautiful that you're channeling this information.
Thank you. Yeah, I view it as a calling, and I'm just happy to be here to share just a little bit of sunshine and
Yes.
you know what I mean. We need a little bit more sunshine in the world nowadays, and I'm really passionate about helping others learn how to connect and communicate with the angels, because honestly, we can all do it. We can all do it.
Yes. So let's kind of talk about that. How did you arrive to learn to interpret angel numbers? How did that begin with you?
It's it was a process. I'm not gonna, I'm going to, tell my age a little bit now, but as a little girl, I mean, I've been communicating with angels since I was a little girl. It's something that's been passed down through the women of my family. It's just something that we've all had similar abilities, different abilities, but very very similar. And the angels are one that had kind of went from um, through the women of the family. So
Mm.
really for me, it's not like it's not a situation where one day they just popped up. They've always been a part of my life, and that's also because angel numbers are so integrated in with angel signs. It's one of their major angel signs that there are seeing these angel numbers. But what happened was, as I got older and more aware and more mindful and deeper within my angel practice, I learned how to attune myself to receive and see these angel numbers in my
Mm.
day to day. And I also fine tuned how to interpret their messages. And a lot of that is through your intuitive abilities as well. So when I say I'm dating myself, we didn't have Google. So it was a lot of self-learning and being quiet and reflective and channeling these messages and figuring out, what does this angel number mean, and what does it mean for me? Because
Yes.
even though you could see 1111 and I could see 1111, but it can mean something different to the two of us depending upon what's going on in our life and where we are.
Absolutely. Yes. We're going to talk about that, how we interpret it. But, just for the beginners, I just want to make sure that we cover this. What are angel numbers? How do they work?
Yeah, so angel numbers are repeating number sequences. So think 111, 222, 1234, that carry guidance and direction from the angel. So they can pop up in everyday life, often in the most ordinary places or situations. And that's part of
Mm.
their magic. They can appear almost anywhere. So each number has a unique meaning and a unique meaning to each of us. And often you see them again and again in your day to day. So you'll often
Mm.
catch them in the most unexpected spots. So things like on clocks, on license plates,
Yes.
repeat receipts, or that I've even had on that little deli, when you take that tag, when you're waiting in line for the deli.
Yes.
I've had that happen. So they can
I love that.
yeah, they can be in phone numbers, addresses, just about anywhere that numbers exist. You can find an angel number, and there's a reason for that.
Mm.
Angel place them Angels place angel numbers in places and everyday moments where we can find them, and as gentle reminders, kind of like I don't know, like a cosmic text message, so to speak, or angelic
Sure.
text message, to let you know that you're being divinely guided, supported, and loved. So, kind of think an easy way
Mhm.
to think of angel numbers is they're kind of like breadcrumbs. Or if you want to get fancy, or confetti or sprinkles. And so the angels will kind of sprinkle them around on your path to reassure you that you are on the right track, that
Yes.
you are connected. And we are, we're always connected, even though, sometimes it might not feel that way depending upon what's going on in our life. And that we have this divine angelic support backing us up.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's important to really have faith, right? That I think that we just need to pay more attention, right?
The more that I found that the more you pay attention, see what happens is it's not a game. So the angels aren't like, yeah, I'll toss it over. Let's see if she picks up on that one. They want us to see and receive these messages. So once you become more mindful and present in what's going on your day to day, and then
Mm,
you look, you're like, hey, wow, I've been seeing 333 a lot. The angels go, there you go. She or he's catching on. I'm going to send more. We got that connection going. And you could start receiving more angel signs and messages throughout your day to day.
I love that. I'm
Yeah.
feeling all kinds of angels around me right now as we are
Well,
having.
yeah, see, when I do angel readings, I get, I tend to get goosebumps and shivers. And so
Yeah,
you'll
I
say,
have them on my back. That's my
yeah,
sign.
well, I get it down my right side, and sometimes I'll either go cold or I'll get a little bit warm. It depends upon the day. But I started getting shivers as I started talking about down my right side, and for me, that's my confirmation that yeah, I got it.
Yes,
You're right on
yes.
it. So it really
Wow.
is. There's a bit of magic to it, and there's just
Mm,
something so beautiful in knowing that there's something bigger than us
right.
looking out for us and supporting us.
I love that. How do you think angel numbers were discovered? Where do you think it comes from?
Well, there is some mystery around that, like most things in the
Yeah.
spiritual and metaphysical space. But the idea, the concept that numbers carry energy has been around for a long time. That's not a new concept. There was a Greek philosopher, Pythagoras, and he believed that our reality is a physical manifestation of the energetic vibration of numbers. So he really believed that
Mm,
numbers carried energy, carried a vibration. And if you think about it, right, if you're into manifestation, you're into raising vibration, all those things, one of the tenets is that everything is made up of energy. Everything.
hmm.
And it's no different with numbers. Now, the idea of angel numbers specifically, the term wasn't coined until about 25 years ago, where when someone in a spiritual space actually just named it that. It was always a
Right.
thing, but it wasn't called angel number. So they gave it a name,
Okay.
something to kind of something to kind of hook it, so to speak.
Sure.
The
Sure, that makes
idea,
sense.
yeah, but the idea of these angel numbers, these numbers being direct messages from the angels, they've really been around since forever. For really,
Mhm.
as long as we've been counting, pun intended. But it's just that we now have a name for it. And with the digital age and social media, we're noticing them more than ever.
Oh,
So
yes.
it's not a new concept in any way, but it just didn't have a name.
Right, right. So if someone continues to see, maybe once they hear this, they're like, oh, maybe I do need to pay attention more, and they start to actually see angels number. What advice do you have for them if they start to really see a sequence repeating?
Well, are you talking about interpreting the message or what to do when they receive after they receive a number?
Yeah, how about what should they do when they
Okay.
receive it?
So after you receive an angel number, the first thing I always recommend doing is acknowledging it. So, angel numbers are little winks from up above.
Yeah.
When you see one, take a moment and just recognize it. So your angels are reaching out, just even a simple, yep, got it, thanks, great. Expressing gratitude is a great way to do this. And here's why.
Okay.
Angels are highly vibrational beings. So much so than us humans are. They vibrate at a much higher level than us mere humans. Gratitude is a high vibration emotion. It's right up there. The only one that's above it is love. And there's science to back this up. I'm just not pulling this out of the air.
Sure.
There's science to back this up when they look at the vibration and then the energy around these
Mm.
emotions. So it's love and then gratitude is right underneath there.
Hmm.
So when you express gratitude, it's like a magnet for angels. They're instantly attracted. They love that because it's so high vibration. It kind of goes and draws them right in. Being grateful brings more things to be grateful for. If you're into that, like if have you ever noticed if the when you see the good in things, it feels like more good comes to you. It's the
Yes.
same, yeah, right. It's the
Hmm.
same thing with this. When you're grateful for something, it brings more things to be grateful for. So when you express gratitude, the angels go, oh, they're getting it. They got it. Let me send them some more of that. They're getting the message. So as you start seeing these angel numbers, you'll start seeing more angel numbers and angel signs in your life as you express more gratitude.
Mm.
The next thing I would recommend doing is, and it doesn't have to be complicated with the gratitude. All
Yeah.
I do, all I do is like I see something I'm like, thanks, thanks.
Yes.
That's all you have to do. It doesn't have to be a complicated or drawn out. Well, people tend to think anytime you're dealing with the spiritual space, it's like, oh, let me bring out the candles and
Yes.
things,
Yes.
and that's an approach. It's not a very it's not one that's
It's
really
not
grounded in
practical.
practical realities if you're on
Yes.
the train or something like, yeah. And I'm
Right.
I'm being deliberately funny here when I say that, but all it takes is just like, thanks, got it, great.
Right.
Right. After that, I recommend just taking a moment to reflect.
Mm.
So, what's happening? Ask yourself, what's happening in your life right now? What were you just thinking about? What were you just doing? Is there something going on in your life
Mm.
as you saw that number? The
Yes.
meaning will usually connect with what's going on around you. And if you're unsure, you can ask your angels for clarity. So, some folks have this view that there's almost like a dividing line between you and the angels, right? Like you can't kind of reach out and directly connect to them, but that's
Hmm.
not the case. They're meant to be relatable, they're meant to be accessible, they're
Hmm.
meant to be approachable. So
That's right.
you can make a simple request and say, angels, I'm not sure what you're trying to communicate with me. Can you
Mm-hmm.
help bring me clarity? And don't worry about getting the right words.
Mm-hmm.
Folks also worry about, like, did I say it right?
It's okay.
It's not a pop quiz.
Yeah.
You can't get it wrong. If you ask, I just find if you believe in what you're asking with openness and earnest, they will help bring that clarity. It may not be an hour from now. It may be a couple days or a couple weeks. We as humans tend to have and we like instant gratification. It's not this, when you're receiving angel messages, it's not Amazon Prime. It's not going to show up 2 days later.
Okay.
So, we have to exercise some patience, because their sense
Sure.
of time is very different than our sense of time here. But if you can ask for that clarity, they will send it to you.
Right.
If you still don't
Mm.
understand, like, okay, I'm getting this, I don't know what it means. What I would recommend is getting a journal and just note it.
Mm-hmm.
Just write it down and then revisit it later, because it may be a message that you're not intended to understand in this very moment, that maybe some other events or people or things need to move around or come into your life, and then it will start making sense.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Folks tend to get frustrated. They're like, I don't know, I'm seeing this thing. What does it mean?
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't know in that moment what it means. What I kind of say is, I kind of call it like tucking it in your pocket. Tuck it in your pocket, put it in your journal,
Yes.
and then take away any of the stress of putting pressure on yourself in the moment to figure it out. It will come to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had a really cool experience this past weekend. And as you're telling me all this, it's really validating that my original request to my guides, because I got this download that I need to be teaching something.
Mm,
And my first reaction is, how am I going to do that? What am I going to, yeah, wait, right? So I had all these questions, and I realized that I was reacting. It's like, okay, calm down, Mayra, right? So I sat
yeah,
down and I said, if I'm to do this, how do I start? Give me some ideas of how I can plan this out, coming up with some sort of, outline or agenda,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I wouldn't know how to begin. Well, and I just let it go. I just let it go. And then 2 hours later, I'm on the freeway going 65 miles per hour, and it's coming. All of these ideas.
Hmm.
Talk about timing, okay? And
Yeah,
I knew I had to write things down, because these are, I always tell people, those are channeled moments. Those downloads are channeled moments. You must write it down, because they were giving me several. And I thought, I'm going to forget this. So I
well,
grabbed
that's
my
the thing.
phone, and
Yep.
I went to the microphone and just started speaking the ideas. So it is really important, when it comes, write it down.
And
Um,
that's one of the challenges with downloads is, and I have them too, is as quickly as they come, they quickly start flow, because
they go, yes.
yeah, so you have to capture them. And I also find it useful writing them down, because there's been instances when I've gone back and I'm like, oh, wait, I could see the bigger picture now. I
Mm,
didn't see all the steps at the time. But now that I'm looking back and looking at what I received, it's like, oh, it's all here. I couldn't put all the pieces together in the moment as I was taking each step. But
mhm,
now I can kind of see the trajectory that I'm being shown, the staircase that I'm being shown. With the
mm.
angels, what they do tend to do is they don't give you more than what you can handle.
I totally
So
believe that.
yeah,
Hmm.
so I
Yes.
went through this is quite a few years ago, where I had this crazy idea. I got a download. I heard it clearly. I get one of the ways, especially my guardian angel. I'm getting a little off topic, but I think this will be
That's
interesting.
okay.
Um, my guardian angel, I like, I can hear the voice. I can hear it in my mind. It's the way that he likes to communicate with me. And I
Yes.
barely, you should, dog walking, if you walk your dog, you'd be surprised how many angel messages you could get on a good dog walk.
Sure.
So if anyone's looking for a way to like, yeah,
Connect.
try the
Yes.
dog walking. So I was walking my dog and I heard, you need to move and you're going to move cross country. And if you're going to do it, it said you're either going to do it now in the next 4 months or you're going to wait until 6 years. So your choice, do it now. And I was like, oh my.
Wow.
My first response was, and excuse me, this is my New Jersey coming out, was, oh crap. Like
Hmm.
what? Like, excuse my bluntness when I say that. But I was like, oh, okay. So I went home and I told my husband, I said, look, I very clearly heard this. I think we got to move. And
Hmm.
if they would have, and we did it, we moved, this was during the pandemic, bought a house,
Oh.
sold a house, sight unseen, moved
Wow.
clear, yeah, moved clear, found a house that was within an hour, which allowed me, I didn't know this was going to happen down the road, but I helped with my mother's end of life care. And because I moved to this town I never heard of this town. Never, like, what is it? We don't even have a stoplight here. I would have never found this town, right?
Right.
But I said, show me where to go. And we found this house and I was within an hour away of my mother, who, with her end of life care, I was able to help with that. That wasn't in my plan. I didn't know that my mother was going to get sick, but it's just how things unfold. But if they would have showed me all the things that I needed to do to get to that point, I've been like, the Capricorn in me would be like, no, 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 no. We're not doing any of that, because it's just, it sounds crazy. It
Sure.
doesn't sound doable, but I just said, okay, you know what? I'm going to roll with it. And it kept like almost like I'm getting like a visual of a rose right now, like of a rose, like of a petal kind of opening up, opening up. It was the same type of thing, like new things kept opening up to get me there. So it was kind of,
Mhm.
it was a leap of faith. I was going to say it was kind of like, it was a leap
Mm.
of faith. And
Mm.
it's a lot of that kind of bleeds right back right into the angel numbers, is just having that faith that you can receive, um, that they will show up in your life, and that angels will continue to send them to you and send you other signs and messages.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. That's a great story. And I've heard stories like that from some of my clients when it's like, "Oh, why do you live there? Why?" And they're just like, "Oh, you wouldn't believe. I don't even know how I got
If I
here."
told you the story of how I got here, I'm like, how did I do this? And really, I
Mm.
just said, you know what? You drive. You drive.
I love that.
I'll be right here. You just make it possible. And
Mm.
the things were orchestrated beautifully.
Hmm.
I couldn't, God couldn't have done it better himself. So, sometimes you have to have that faith and trust.
Yes, you mentioned you had a lot of land too, right? It's so
Yeah, we're,
beautiful.
we're
So
fortunate.
special.
Yeah, I'm laughing because the angels also have a sense of humor, and I didn't. And they're always listening, and sometimes you don't really realize sometimes what you're putting out in the universe. So when we were doing, just starting the process of this move, I remember kept thinking, I love the Adirondacks. I want to live in a Hallmark movie. I know that sounds strange.
I
Everyone's
love it.
happy and they have a great kitchen. Would you know I live in a
Yes.
freaking, my town is a freaking Hallmark movie. They had the
Oh
little
my
town
gosh.
parades with the
Yes.
flags and all that stuff, and people, for 4th of July. And I have a really nice kitchen. So
I love that. I love
yeah,
that. and everyone knows everybody. I know I always say that I want to
Yes.
live in a Nancy Meyer movie. I love Nancy Meyer movie, everything Nancy Meyer, and they always have beautiful kitchens. So,
Well, I mean, I didn't put it out there when I was saying, "Okay, angels, this is what I want." I was just talking casually to my husband. I was like, "That's yeah." And then you know what? They're like, "Done."
yes, I love that. I love that. Wow. All right. So you mentioned how angel numbers, you can interpret it very different than I know. We covered that, but what, well, okay, let me see. What do I want to ask? Well, I think you answered this about how angel numbers can actually relate to other angel signs, correct?
Sure. I mean, we could dive in deeper if you want to. I mean, they are angel numbers and angel signs. They're all connected. It's think of it as it's all part of the language that the angels use to communicate with us. So angels use a variety of different ways, and the angel numbers they're honestly one of the big ones that angels do. And again, it's because of the accessibility that you go about your day, and we're constantly running into numbers. So it's an easy way for them to reach out and to communicate with us. But there are other ways that folks can receive angel messages. So it may be that through dreams, um, feathers. Different feathers mean different colors. It could
Yes.
be seeing a lot of people will see flashes of light or orbs. This happens quite frequently with me. I actually had this is a little bit of a funny story. Um, this does not happen all the time. I want to make sure
Mhm.
it's I'm clear. But I don't want people thinking like, oh, I walk around and every day and it's like, oh, look at all these lights just going up. No, no, I live,
Okay.
yeah. But we had an instance when we were living in Jersey, and my husband was on the couch with my dog, my Kerry Blue Terrier, Fiona, and I kid you not, there was an orb that started floating by, and it was a brilliant white light. My husband turned. I looked at him, and he turned and looked at it. My dog Fiona turned and looked.
Wow.
That's that's unusual. Normally, when people see orbs and things like that, it's I don't want to say it's a solitary experience, but it's typically not a shared experience like that. So you may see lights or orbs. You may have interactions with certain types of animals. So with angels, butterflies are huge, 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 huge.
Yes.
Dragonflies. A lot of people have butterfly experiences.
Hmm.
You may hear something in music. So that's
Hmm.
my angels. And I kind of might have a sense of humor, and honestly I invite that into my life because that's just who I am as a person. I'm like, yeah, be funny, please be funny. They will
Wow.
use pop music to send me messages. When
Hmm.
I do angel readings, it's not uncommon. I will not sing for you now, but it's not uncommon for me to start hearing song lyrics that convey a message.
Sure.
That's because for me, I love music, and it's typically
Hmm.
stuff like from like the Temptations era, like that
Yes.
stuff, Diana Ross, like
Oh, yeah.
the good stuff.
Yeah.
But they know like that resonates so much with me that that's a way that they could communicate.
Right.
So for you, it may be something different because maybe you're not as I don't want to say connected to your music choices, but it may be that just something else resonates with you more.
Hmm.
The angels would use whatever means necessary to communicate with you. It's not a game.
Hmm.
They want that communication. They want to help and support you. So they'll use whatever means is is within their capacity that you would be receptive to. That's the name of the game. They're not
Sure.
in that. You know, we're not out there trying to throw spaghetti against the wall and just hoping that you'll just randomly try to see. They want those messages to hit.
Sure. And they're going to use your dictionary through your
Yes.
memories. You have your personal dictionary and they know how to tap into it. Wow,
And
that's
you
really
can,
interesting.
yeah, you can also request it too. Again, you know, you could
Mhm.
say, I'm not understanding. This isn't clear to me. Could you send me the message in a way that I'll more readily understand or more clearly understand? And
Mhm.
they'll oblige.
Yes,
So you're
I
allowed
like
to
that.
make those
Mhm.
requests. When I was younger, I kind of had, look, I have a reverence for the angels, of course, but I kind of felt like um, it's almost like when you're a kid and you look up to a teacher and it's like, oh, there's like this distance between the two of you. Do you know what I mean? You know, you're not on the same level or on the same wavelength type of thing, like, you know, like almost like a respect your elders type of thing. I kind of had that with the angels when I was younger. And then I learned, I'm like, no, no, no. This is a relationship. Think of it more like a friendship. That like you're talking to a, you know, like you're talking to a friend, because that's really in a way what they are. They're here like a friend.
Right.
You can lean on them to help guide you.
Mhm. Yeah, it's so interesting how um, we, many of us are not acquainted with our guides, yet in the astral plane, we're thick as thieves. We know who they are, we know what they look like, but here we are returning back to our bodies in the morning or whatever, and
Yeah.
still like, are they listening? Do they hear me? It's we are in such an illusion, here in the
Well,
physical.
well, you know what it is? I've always, one of my philosophies is that talking to angels is easy. It's life that makes it hard.
Hmm.
So if you have, you know, the dogs running through, you drop an egg, emails dinging, the distractions of the world, the stresses of the world, that's what makes it hard. And that's what makes it more challenging to tune in. So
Right.
if you can find those spaces of quiet, and I don't even necessarily mean meditation, though, if that's your thing, go for it. But just those moments of quiet, like I said, like I walk the dog. Before we did hopped on for this podcast, I went and I just did. I'm like, I'm going to take a walk just around the property and just
Yeah.
kind of get that grounding and that centeredness. So it wasn't, I guess you could consider a walking meditation, but folks have this eat, pray, love idea of what meditation
Yeah.
is, and I kind of take a more
Hmm.
modern interpretation of it. If you
Sure.
could just find those moments of quiet. You'd be surprised. Like when I take this, may be TMI, whatever. We'll go there. I every night I take a Epsom salt bath. It's my thing. It's what I
Absolutely.
do. It's for medical purposes as well as for me.
Mhm.
It's like a spiritual experience. If that's
Yes.
I don't know if
Yes.
that's
Yes.
strange to say, but it feels that for me. There's something about just having a bath every night with the Epsom salt that kind of
Yeah.
feels like
It
cleanse.
cleanses you energetically. It's
It
wonderful.
does, yeah. But
Hmm.
I get angel messages in the bathtub. And
Yes.
I know that sounds kind of, it sounds kind of funny to say that, but it's a moment where my husband's not talking to me. Nobody wants anything from me. I'm just sitting and relaxing. And I'm just,
Mm-hmm.
with practice, you learn how to get into that space where you can invite the messages and then you just start flowing.
Hmm.
And anyone truly can do it. It just takes a little bit of practice and a belief that you can do it.
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure. Sorry if it was TMI.
Oh, no, it's not. I love that. This is, yeah, we are, please share, share. We're all about that. I want to ask you, I don't know if you touched on if angel numbers can actually help with really big decisions. How would I go about, like, okay, for instance, should I move? Should I not move? That's a big decision. Should I quit this job? Should I not? Can angel numbers help you with that?
They can. So here's the thing with angel numbers. Angel numbers do not predict the future. They won't spell out exactly what you need to do. Your
Mm,
free will is always in play. It's not about controlling the outcome, but they do offer guidance and support and encouragement for whatever that life decision is that you're facing. So, for example, if you're on the fence about making a big change and you keep seeing angel number 555, that's a pretty clear sign that change is already in motion, and to embrace it and come to it with an open heart. If you're seeing something like 777, that could be confirmation, and you've been working on maybe, just opening up spiritually and on in your practice, whether that's with angels or something else in the spirituality space. Seeing 777 could indicate that you're on the right path. Keep on going. You're on the right spiritual path. Angel numbers, they won't make the decision for you, but they can help you feel more confident in the choices that you make. So again, they serve as
mhm.
reminders that you're being guided and supported, and that you're not navigating all this alone. So if you're seeing a number come up, maybe you're again, maybe you're wondering if you should take that new job, like, or should I switch careers? And you're seeing that 555 come up. That's them giving that confirmation that
Yeah, like
yeah,
thumbs up. Go
yeah,
for it.
that thumbs up, thumbs up. Um, yeah, so they can
Mm.
definitely help in supporting and making the decisions. They don't make. I don't look for it to be like a magic 8 ball. You're not.
Right, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Because I think people are like, but so are you like? So is it this job? It's
Yes.
there to guide you, not make the decision for you.
hmm hmm there was someone years ago that had brought up, I keep seeing angel numbers. I'm like, oh, what do you seeing? And she said, 911. I see it everywhere. 911. What do you think it means? And I just simply can't interpret that because for us, 911 is emergency, urgent. And I don't know why angels would send that. Well, it's like, what do you think that meant for her?
Well, in traditionally, what it means is 911. 911 is typically associated with stepping into your purpose. It's typically a
Mm.
sign that you're being guided to something bigger, like maybe like a new path or a leadership role or a higher calling. So, in a way, like when we think of 911, right, we think of
Sure,
alert, alert, alert.
we do.
Well, in a way, this is kind of an alert, but in the spiritual sense. It's alerting you to, like, hey, here's the new path. Hey, here's the higher calling. It's just that we have the some of the modern world associations with it. So for example, 666 gets a bad rap. Depending upon your
Sure.
you know um it gets a bad rap depending upon what your personal beliefs are. But typically 666 is about finding balance, for example, and
hmm
that's a good thing. It depends upon where you come, what your personal experiences are. So what I would tell folks is when trying to interpret what an angel message means, you could certainly Google it, right? I mean, that's a good. You're not going to be able to memorize the meanings of all these numbers. I mean,
No, I
let's
know it's
that,
vast.
that
Yes.
it's a large vocabulary of stuff. You'll get to learn the big numbers like 1111, 111, because they're typically some of the more popular
hmm
angel numbers that folks see. But what I would recommend doing is if you're seeing an angel number, you're like, what the heck does it mean? You could certainly start with Google. Now, each angel number carries multiple meanings with it. So, what I would do is when you're in a space that You feel calm and grounded. Again, you can meditate if you want. That's not necessary. Just be in a state where your emotions aren't kind of going. It just be, very, very even and centered. Get quiet and read the meaning for each of each angel number, each multiple meaning. You will get a response. Your body, your intuition
Sure.
will let you know that it will speak to you. One thing I recommend is if you do this is we tend to overanalyze. You're going to,
Yes.
if you do this exercise, go with the first hit. It's going to be, does it mean this?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll feel either folks I work with comment that they'll feel like an expansiveness, like, or maybe even like a tickle in the stomach or like a
Mm-hmm.
lightness, and we get a shiver or something like that and be like, well, that's it. Or they'll feel kind of a restriction, a contraction, be like, no. And you'll get that hit instantly. Don't overthink it. Don't bring the mind into it. Just give the keys over to your intuition and let it take you for that ride.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I see 1111 every day.
Do you really?
Every day. It's
Well,
so crazy. But I'm also either
that's amazing. That's my
here.
favorite.
So what, yeah, I mean, I just think, what is it? My body immediately just looks at the clock at the time, or I happen to glance at my phone and it's like, oh, it's 11:11. I see it every
Well,
day.
that would be an amazing talent to be like, my body magically knows it is
It
11.
just does.
You know what I mean? I mean, because
Mm,
I get 1111 is a big number for me, angel number for me as well. And if you think about it, right, you're typing on a computer. How could you possibly know, like, okay, I'm going to get up and go get a drink and glance at the clock on the microwave? You're
yes.
asking for an awful lot. I mean, it's not like you're
Mm-mm.
sitting there like counting the seconds there. If you think,
No,
but you know what I
I
mean?
know.
But the reason why they're sending you that is because you're going to pick it up. So 1111, it's my favorite number. It's like the mothership coming home. I'm not gonna lie,
It
that's my.
is.
I'm not supposed to have
Sure.
favorites, but 1111 is mine, and a lot of folks tend to see it. So an 1111 again means multiple things, but at the most basic level, it's a direct connection to the angels. It's like you have a direct line to the divine
Mm.
going on there. So it's a reminder that yep, you're directly connected. It's also, and I think that this is it for you. It's the connection with the angels, but it's also, do you manifest really well? Do you say like, I want X, Y, and you do pretty good. I feel like you do
Yes.
pretty good here. Like,
Yes.
okay, I'm getting the shivers. Guy. That's that's what it is with you. You're a very good manifester.
Mm. Hmm.
Do you Have you thought about doing anything in the manifestation space?
No.
Think about it.
Okay.
I'm getting the shivers kind of, I feel like there's something there you could do. Anyhow, um,
Okay.
but you're a very good manifester. You're almost like a lightning rod, so to speak. You're
I
very,
gotta say, yeah, I have a very similar story of how I ended up in this house, and the synchronicities, just all these things just completely unfolding in the perfect way. And it's just it's crazy. Sometimes I don't even know how I'm manifesting it. It's just
you are like, hmm, how do I describe you? It's almost like if you had a plug and you plug you in and you just go. You just go.
I love that.
I would, for you, I'd recommend sitting with this for a little bit because I
Mm.
think you could be on to something with the manifest teaching manifestation.
Mm. Okay.
Take a look with that, sit with that for a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
like
I can see your
that.
eyes darting left to
Yeah,
right. You're like, oh,
I
she's
start,
on.
yeah, that's, my husband's like, are you getting messages again? So anyhow, that's what we talk about. They'll see me kind of like when I look, he's like, okay, you're getting messages again.
Yeah.
Um, but I really like that you're like you're really like I'm getting lightning rod. And I feel
Oh.
like you are interesting too because this is interesting. When you manifest, I feel like it has like an amplification effect, like it's you, but it's like you almost get like a ripple effect for the people around you.
Mm.
I like that.
Wow. I'm feeling like a hand on my back right now, the middle of my back. I feel like a warm as you're talking about this.
Well,
It's
you
funny.
have Michael's with you now.
Mm.
Michael for me tends to come around like a hug. But right
Yes.
now he's kind of it's kind of like it's two things. It's one like a hand on the shoulder for support, but it's also I'm getting the visual of a hand gently nudging you. It's also a
Mm.
nudge.
Okay.
But
Hi,
anyhow,
Michael.
yeah.
I love that. I love it. He shows up in my space a lot in
Yes,
sessions,
he's one
a
of
lot.
your
Mm.
main.
Mm,
He's
I
one of
love
your
that.
main, just from a well, you're a powerhouse to begin with, but he's there from for you he breaks down barriers. I feel like that's what he does. He breaks down. He breaks down the obstacles,
Sure.
and then that way, that's how the manifestations also get in because you could go. He's like,
Mm,
I'm moving it. Go.
love that. So, Hope, what does it mean if you see lots of angel numbers like 333, 222? What I mean, they're just coming at you like from everywhere.
It's
Does that
really,
happen?
oh yeah, it is really, really good if you're seeing all the angel numbers. That is an amazing sign.
Okay.
Some folks get confused. They're like, "Well, what are they trying to tell me? I'm seeing 111, 333, 555. Like I'm just like everywhere I go, I see angel numbers, right? And it's like, what the heck is going on? How am I supposed to interpret all the
Y- y-
numbers?
Right.
So it's a very special message from the angels. First of all, it just means like you are on fire. You are
Ah,
in alignment. You are um, manifesting. You are on the right path. It is like all because it's like think about it if you're like you're firing on all the cylinders. So it's like they're just shooting every it's like yep. You're on point.
mm,
That's the yeah, I'm getting my shivers again. That's the big meaning of 111 or of seeing all the angel numbers is that it's you're really like in like Mac Daddy alignment going
oh,
on.
wow.
And yeah, it's super powerful. Now, you will not see every single angel number forever, right? So if you're going through a space and time and I don't know, maybe you are trying to move or go through school or change careers or whatever it is, you may be seeing all these numbers saying, yeah, go, like it's coming, it's coming. But then eventually you get to the thing that you were hoping to accomplish. So you may see them recede. Okay. Don't
Mm,
freak out. I've had folks go, well, where did it go? Like
yes,
it was here and now it's a
it's
little bit
gone.
quieter.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that anything bad happened. It doesn't
Mhm.
mean that your angels suddenly, took a vacation or like, yeah, okay, we're done now. No, but you accomplished that goal. So it's natural, like anything, you once you reach a goal, you reset again. They'll show up again,
Mm,
maybe not in all the same ways, but you'll again, once as you start navigating this new space or whatever it is that you now want to accomplish or have a goal or whatever, you'll start seeing the numbers again. So don't worry if all of a sudden it's like bam, I'm seeing them all. And then it's like
right.
quiet. Because it's not that something bad happened. It's not that something bad is going to happen or that they left you. It's just kind of the quiet before the next thing starts.
Mm, I love that.
I
Mm.
love it. When I see all the angel numbers, I kind of get that, that I think it's from the 80s. Again, I'm not going to sing it for you. But that song, Nothing's Gonna Break My Stride, or Nothing's Gonna Slow Me Down. That's what I start hearing when I like hit,
Yes.
from the 80s. And I just
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
like with the theme music or walking on sunshine. I'm like, yeah, that's what that is.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. This has been such a wonderful topic to talk about and just to remind people that they have access. It really is a tool. It really is a tool.
It is. And
Wow.
anyone can do it. You just have to
Mm,
try. And then don't
mhm.
get frustrated if on your first ask you you don't get it. Be patient, but approach it. I find that if you approach things with a sense of curiosity and play, that that type of energy just opens you up to all of this stuff.
Mhm. Mhm. So, Hope, do you have a knock your socks off experience with angel numbers? Something you'd like to share?
Well, I mean, going back to
Like
that
no
example,
pressure.
yeah, I mean, going back to that example, it's kind of tied into angel signs as well. But going back to that example, when I said I was trying to move and everything like that, what was going on in my life was I was trying to find a remote job. I wanted to move down south. So I needed to sell the house, buy the house, make repairs on the old house, somehow
Mm,
find the financing for the new house, somehow make all the
it's a
move
lot.
work. It was, I mean, you want to talk about a major life change, and also retire oh yeah, we were going to retire my husband at the same time because, hey, why not? Let's just do all the things at once. So when I heard that, why not, right? When I got that initial message about you either move now or you're staying here in New Jersey. It was either move now or you're in New Jersey for a while.
Well, okay, pause there. That
Yeah,
what do you think that was about? Even though you chose door number one, okay, you chose door number one, I'm going for it. What do
yeah.
you think that the other reality, why was there such a delay? Why would you get stuck for 6 years? Have you
What I heard was that there was going to be changes in the economy, and at the time my husband was working, and
uh-huh.
my husband is 18 years older than me, and he's at he was close to retirement age at the time. And I got the strong sense that he would have been laid off. And,
Oh,
and so that would have impacted finances severely. So I was getting that warning that if anyone knows anything about New Jersey, it's expensive. Jersey is expensive, and we have had to make it work on one income. So I got this message saying, like, look, this is what's ahead.
wow.
So you either have this window or you're going to have to figure something else out for this because I didn't get the sense that he was going to be able to find work, one, because of his age. Once you get up into your mid
Sure.
60s, you know what, it gets
It's harder.
hard, right? It's hard. And then the housing market was going to shift.
Sure.
Um, there was just going to be, I just felt a lot of economic changes going on that would have made things challenging. And so I told my husband, he's like, let's do it. We're going to do it. And he's not
Wow.
like that either. Let me tell you, when he's like Mr. like tightly
Conser
wound.
he's
No,
conservative and
yes, and that's not my nature either. I don't make these like, hey, we'll just go buy a house on
in
Caesar.
4 months. Let's just go.
In 4 months, yeah.
Leave the state. That's a lot. It's really.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a
Mhm.
lot. So once we made that decision and I started setting things in motion as far as fixing up the house that we were living in, so we could sell it,
Mhm.
I started seeing angel numbers a lot. And they started slow, like if you imagine like little popcorn, pop, pop, pop. And then the pops started getting louder and they started getting more plentiful.
Mm.
And so I remember again, I swear, walking your dog is magic. I was out
Yes,
again.
okay.
I was walking Fiona, and I've been seeing the angel numbers, especially 1111, and that was the prominent one at the time. I was out walking Fiona, and I heard loudly. It was a loud voice, and there it is. And then I saw a red carpet rolling out. I was like, "There, what is?" I'm like, well, and I'm like, okay.
Uh-huh.
So I went back and I got an email from work that because of COVID, we were permanently remote and I
Oh,
can move to whatever state the company does business in.
wow.
And my parents were in Tennessee. I couldn't go to Tennessee just because of legal things. And I said, okay, we're going to look around in Southwest Virginia, which is close to the Tennessee border. And I said, find me a house. Find me a house, because at that point, if you remember back to what that housing market was, it was things selling above the price,
Yeah,
and
very high. It was crazy.
just it was
Yes.
crazy, right?
Mm.
The house that we're in now, we were looking for houses, and we lost some. The house that we're in now popped up on realtor.com. I got all excited. I'm like, John, look at this. You got to look at this. An hour later, it's taken off. I'm like, what happened?
Ah.
I'm like, where did my house go? And so I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm going to contact a realtor down there. We wait a contact. So contact, I'm like, what happened to my house? Like, where'd it go? It's up for on
I
realtor.com.
love how you were saying my house. It was
Oh, it's
just
my house. I'm like, that's my house. Because I'm like, look at it. I'm like, this is my
it's
house.
mine.
And I
Hmm.
said, I asked the realtor, I said, what happened to my house? And so she went and she goes, oh, the woman, like her back, the wife, her back a little bit. And so, she has to go to the doctor. So they just took it off for a little bit. I said, go, I got an offer. Go make it. Well, can you go present my offer? Half an hour later, they accepted it and it was sold. So it came on long enough for me to see it and for me to send the photos to my husband. Fell off of
So
realtor.com.
no one else can see it.
No one else saw it. No, and I'm like,
I
how does
love that.
but how does that happen, right? How do I can't
Yes.
explain that. We ended up you want to talk about divine timing? Being a Capricorn, I don't like wasting money, right? So
Mhm.
I'm trying, like, how am I going to arrange these moves so I'm not like paying all this money? We bought this house sight unseen, closed 2 weeks later, closed on a New Jersey house. How do you even manage to, like, how does that, like, it was perfect.
Right.
Perfect. How do you arrange that without some sort of someone up there helping me out?
Yes.
And there were,
I
if you think about all the hurdles and the
oh,
obstacles, and somehow I just said, it's going to work out. Everything's going to work out. I'm just going to roll with it and try not to let it upset me. And, selling and buying a house it's not easy, especially from
no.
the heart.
Yeah.
So that's my
Wow.
my
Oh my
big
gosh.
big story that kind of ties into the angel numbers. But
Mm,
um, yeah, I mean it feels magical because it is.
mhm.
There's that bit of if you think about magic, it
Wow.
requires belief. And if you believe in it, it can happen for anyone.
It really can.
It
Hmm.
can.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you have any else that you'd like to contribute towards angel numbers? Any advice
Um,
for our listeners?
the biggest advice I would say is just to try it. It really is accessible and attainable to anyone. There isn't it isn't reserved for a special few.
Mm,
It's all out there and it's all accessible and just kind of waiting for you to tap into it. So if you just have the openness and the desire, you could have that appearing in your life too.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Hope.
Absolutely.
Tell us, remind us, how do the listeners find you?
So you could find me at theangelwriter.com. That's my website, and you'll see the links for my socials right there.
Beautiful. Are you angelwriter.com also?
Is there
Your
another?
website?
It's
Is
the
it
angel.
the
It's
angel?
theangelwriter.com. I'm like, don't tell me there's another.
No, no. Okay. No, it's yours. It's all yours. Thank you. I really had fun.
I did too. Anytime,
It
you
was
want
a
to talk
lot of
about
fun.
anything else, let me know.
Thank you so much.
All
Bye,
right.
Hope. Bye,
Bye
everybody.
bye.